Okay, welcome back to how to build a SaaS service on Azure. In our previous three parts, we provided an overview of software as a service. We discussed the various SaaS scenarios that any startup, ISV, or enterprise could offer. We looked at database tenancy patterns at the data layer. So essentially, what architecture from a database perspective best suits your needs. And then we looked at a microservice architecture for a multi-tenant SaaS solution and all of the decoupled services that exist and how to best orient them so that they are independent and able to be managed by small development teams and have their own DevOps processes for continuous integration and continuous delivery implemented. In this portion, in part 4, we're going to look at how to get started specifically with the Azure SaaS Development Kit and how to begin creating your SaaS solution. So, in building the Azure SaaS Development Kit, one thing that I mentioned early on was one of our objectives is to leverage all of the work that has been done by our various teams and integrate it into one open source solution that you can quickly and easily deploy and customize for your own needs. The first SaaS solution that we had out there, again, was particular to the database tenancy patterns that we discussed, and it was released by our Azure SQL team, and it's called the Wingtip Tickets SaaS solution. So, having worked on various SaaS projects in the past and having leveraged the Wingtip Tickets SaaS solution, there were various elements of it that I noticed needed to be improved in order for us to provide something such as the Azure SaaS Development Kit. Some of those challenges and needs were we needed process automation. We needed a way to implement scheduled tasks, scheduled jobs, overall process automation. We needed a front end for customers. Okay, so think of it as a customer is going to come onto your SaaS platform and they need to select and subscribe to their service tier, also known as their plan. Okay, so within the Wingtip Ticket SaaS solution, it focused primarily on the data layer, and so we didn't have what we refer to as a SaaS provider, which is you, a SaaS provider web application. We needed a way to decouple the Azure resources into microservices, and that's what we reviewed in part 3, where we looked at the microservice architecture for a multi-tenant SaaS solution. And we needed to leverage Azure platform capabilities, okay, that are of benefit to a SaaS solution, such as elastic pooling and app service plans. Okay? And so in doing so, we developed we are introducing the Azure SaaS Development Kit. So to read the description of the development kit, so the Azure SaaS Development Kit provides tools to help developers deliver their applications as a service. Okay, the toolkit includes recommended patterns and practices around SaaS platform architectures, onboarding new tenants, automating deployments, operational architecture, security, and everything you need to know to begin building a SaaS solution. Okay, so as of today, the Azure SaaS Development Kit is available within the Azure organization, within the Azure SaaS repository on GitHub. The link will be available to you at the end of this session, and I do invite everyone to go ahead and begin working with it. Now, it is in its infancy, so right now what's essentially available is the SaaS provider web application. However, The root of all the microservices are also available. By that I mean the core solutions that are going to be built upon. So each one of the microservices that we reviewed in our microservice architecture are available. And obviously it is open for contribution. So anyone who would like to contribute to it is absolutely more than welcome. And again, if you have any questions on direction, please feel free to email me on that topic. So included in the Azure SaaS Development Kit are the following features and resources. Again, these are many of the features and resources that we reviewed in our microservice architecture for a multi-tenant SaaS solution. So there's the SaaS Provider web app, which again is the web application where prospective customers will navigate to select their service tier, also known as their plan, and onboard and have the system provision a new tenant for them. The administrative web app that we discussed, where the owners of the SaaS solution will have the ability to manage various data stores of the software solution. An onboarding API, an identity API, billing, order, customer APIs that we discussed, a logging function app, a notification function app, a catalog API to manage CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete for all tenants, and Azure Resource Manager templates for all resources that are included in the Azure SaaS Development Kit. Okay, so these templates will allow you to deploy your resources independently or as a whole using the Deploy to Azure button. And this is what the SaaS Provider web app looks like. So this is not only is it a template from a presentation perspective, from a UI perspective, but it also has all of the logic built in, okay, to allow you to leverage the onboarding flow that we discussed in part 2, as well as the full onboarding process to provision a new tenant, which leverages Cosmos DB, which provisions a new tenant for you in the catalog database, which leverages the identity service in order to create the owner and the ownership role for the new tenant that is provisioned. Okay. In addition, you also have a template available for you for pricing, and this is where you can create your separate tiers. You'll have a freemium version, for example, a basic, standard, premium offering, which looks very similar to what you may be accustomed to seeing with Office 365, for example. So this is, I will say, for example, V0.1 of the Azure SaaS Development Kit, and we hope that you get started with it today.